Hi guys! This video is about running style and Achilles tendinopathy and whether you should be changing yours if you've had Achilles tendinopathy or whether it's okay to run as you do. My name is Maryke. I'm one of the physiotherapists from treatmyachilles.com, where you can get online assessment as well as treatment of your Achilles injuries. Have a look at the description of this video. I've popped a link to our website in there. So, do you need to change your running style? To be honest, very likely not. What the research is showing is that there's really not a clear link between running style and certain elements of the running style and Achilles tendinopathy. There are two things that may cause a problem in some patients, but not every patient. So one of them is if you over-pronate or pronate excessively when you run. That can sometimes cause problems for people. But to be honest, that's not really corrected through running style adjustments. It's more likely going to be corrected through strength training, specific muscles, as well as looking at your trainers, that they're not too flexible, and also possibly using orthotics depending on your specific case. The second thing is that there may be a link between overstriding, so where you're placing your foot quite far forwards in front of your center of gravity when you run, and Achilles strain. So what happens when you overstride is your heel makes contact in front of your body and it kind of acts like a brake as you're running. So it increases the forces that goes up through the leg quite a lot. Let me demonstrate that, because then I can show you how you can change that as well. So if you think you're overstriding, it is probably actually useful to change that in any case, because overstriding has been linked to things like patellofemoral syndrome, loads of other knee injuries and hip injuries in the body. So overstriding is the one thing that's worth changing in a running style, really. Let me show you what I mean with overstriding. So it'll be, if I can demonstrate this, when you run, you're placing your leg in front of you. So you can see if your heel makes contact with the floor in front of you when you run, it kind of acts as a little brake the whole time. So what you want to do is you want to get that foot underneath you, that it makes contact more underneath you when you run. So don't go and slouch to do that. You still keep a good posture, you just lean forwards ever so slightly, so into that position. And then when you run, you try to get the foot to make contact more underneath you rather than in front of you. A useful drill to practice that is to hold on to something and just practice where that would be if you made contact at that point. Another cue that may work for you is if you think about just increasing your step rate. So giving slightly shorter and lighter steps, that can help to not overstride so much. But as I said, this is definitely not an issue for everybody. And not everybody who overstrides will have that as part of why they got their Achilles tendinopathy. What the research says, and what most experts, when you look at the research, also agree upon, is that they don't tend to change running styles for Achilles tendinopathy. It's more about strength training, so getting that Achilles strong, getting the calf muscle strong, and then starting a very graded return to running program that goes about getting the volume of running up first and then adding in your speed and things. The only time that I would say that it is worth changing something, definitely worth changing something, is if you manage to, or if you actually try to make the switch to barefoot running or wearing less of a heel when you run, just before your Achilles flared up, because that may have been the direct cause for the Achilles overload. What happens when you go from running in regular trainers that's about a 12-degree heel to toe angle to running in barefoot running shoes or really flatter running shoes is your Achilles suddenly has to work through a much larger range, and people tend to then also combine it with trying to run on their forefoot or their toes more. That can load the Achilles tendon a lot more, and that could have caused the overload. So if you've tried to switch to midfoot or forefoot running style or to minimalist running shoes just before your Achilles flared up, then I would say go back to your old running style and back to your old trainers to start with, until your Achilles is totally happy. And only then, if you really want to make the switch to either forefoot or midfoot running style or barefoot running, find somebody who's either a running style expert, because they're really good, the running coaches, with making the transition slowly, or a physio or a rehab therapist who can help you to actually build that muscle and Achilles up so that it's strong enough to cope with the new loads. Just out of interest, people tend to think that barefoot running, because it's more natural, because we never used to wear shoes hundreds of years ago, will not cause them as many injuries. What the research is showing is it changes what injuries you get. So people who run with shoes versus people who run with barefoot or with minimalist shoes, they get the same rate of injuries. So they both get same number of injuries, but the ones in shoes tend to get more your knee injuries and things like that. The ones with minimalist shoes tend to get more things related to calves and Achilles tendons, because those are the bits that gets loaded more. So it's not going to take all your injuries away. It may just change what injuries you get. Excellent. So let me know if you've got any questions. And if you need more help with any of your Achilles injuries, then have a look at our website and see if you want to consult us online. Take care.